absolutely. I mean, AJ, a lot more limited time on tour, but has shown us a ton and shown the entire
world. Match finished. We did even better by showing it to you there, and he is now through on the final day. It was the opportunity of a lifetime for those guys, and some responded to it better than others. There must be guys looking at the draw and thinking, okay, these are all good players, but there's nobody. How do they respond to having a big opportunity to really go deep in one of these events, an opportunity that they might not normally have?
Good job here anyways. Got a lot of power though. Good touch. You know, and you look at, do we have it?
Well, Labutus as well was the other one, so very good point.
Yeah, and you know, Magna and expect, and we'll see how they respond.
Duong Quoc Hoang hasn't been to a big semi-final yet, but he's been in some big quarter-finals. He claimed a last 16 spot. And he's off to a decent start.
I think he's one of the best out there. Really doesn't have a whole lot of weaknesses when it comes to offensive. Surprised he's taking this. Now, he had more faith in hitting it. Nice, hit it super thin. So AJ's going to have a combination. Out with the big boys, really, you know, and like, what's the kid's name from Germany that says a young man, but as a favorite in a lot of matches also, so, which is a different kind of feeling than an underdog. Man, I think he's definitely ready to be out here with the big boys, I think.
Yeah, and in any sport, you're always looking at their ability to play. It's everything else about them, the way they play, the style, and a little bit of unpredictability.
Yeah, absolutely, and, you know, didn't get to talk to him a ton there at the PLP, but sharp man, sharp young man, and a really good young man.
And certainly a very good player.
Well, he's got the corner also, never mind, the 8's not in the way, so this is a more comfortable way to play the ball. Another gorgeous day here in Telford. It's really awesome weather, and I would never say bouncy because of this or that, but no complaints this week. Keeps the players in a better mood. Everyone feels better about things when the weather's so nice. Now this shot got awfully odd from nowhere. 9's a big ball as far as getting shape on that black 8. Yeah, I thought it was missable. He tried to attack with outside, and don't think that was a big option.
Dean Shields from Manchester, who of course beat him in his home country at the Hanoi Open back in October, 10-8. And it was the other way around this time. Duong coming through 10-8.
Just try and hold it, you know, fully, and just take your chances, leaving something long. Quiet, a nice shot, a year or so, but I think he's back and he's better. And a great shot there with the jump cue. And what I was talking about earlier, there's a field just like it was this year, and Duong took that down. And that kind of field are the types of players, a tough field compared to one of these majors.
Yeah, he was back in Glasgow last week to defend that Scottish Open title qualification. But that's not quite as early an exit as it will be in one of these events, because it was only a 16-man single elimination phase.
Ball here. Round. He was in a few battles to survive, from what I remember. Season veteran that has a lot of talent.
Against top players, but again, here he is struggling against someone who you might have made him favourite against, Imran Majid. 2 drawing ones in a row for DQH. In the last 64 of the Hanoi Open last year, to get through to the last 32, almost down 10-9.
One thing all of us can take from this young man is when you can start to stress about all shots and doesn't get so high and intense between the ears, which definitely affects the back arm.
Yeah, and he's got that youthful sense in his past, and yeah, it's reflected in his manner around the table and the way he plays. And well, that's managed. Duong not getting away with the dry break this time. AJ Matt.
Yeah, this table's been awfully stingy on the one. Not so much with the cue ball. But I always felt like Comino had, of course, being younger in years, but still. I also like that player that doesn't mind showing how upset they are about those emotions before. And I don't think that's a bad thing.
So now.
Okay.
Yeah, they have a different thing with names in Spain. It's something to do with the names of both of the families that you've come from.
Yeah, a bunch of youngsters playing in this round, of course. Game's getting younger, it seems like every...
Don't they? Manus just glides around the table, and Duong sort of ambles around the place a little bit, almost like he's not really even still easier than we know it certainly is. And this has been a good start from Duong Quoc. Exploited it just as much as he did in the opening rack, and so...
Sam Henderson, good shout out to him making that final 64. Constantly building on that game. Again, I'm at the moment, didn't have Joshua Filler, but we'll see how it unfolds.
Steyer's one of those guys who, if he was playing team sports, he'd be a fan
especially
favorite.
a pro sport. There's players that always get they bring every time, and Tyler's kind of one of those. And that's why, to me, and unless someone shows otherwise, he's a hard guy not to pick for that. He got odd here. Can he get enough on it to move the cue ball out? Oh, sweet stroke. Elevated over the 9. That one will make you feel...
Very impressive fashion. And with his first break and run,
try to run the cue ball behind the pink. Double kissed it, may fluke it. Kind of lost the mark on the shot itself. Miscue, it sounded like. So good when he elevates the cue. It's amazing around the table. But I'll tell you one thing he does better than most, AJ Manus. It's got to be that way just because I kind of feel like Manus has the mentality. I don't
That Reyes Cup week in Manila back in October. He won both of his doubles and one of his singles. He actually had a chance to clinch the cup for Asia. Fell to MVP Aloysius Yap to clinch it in the next match against FSR.
Kind of corralling around this man at the table right now had a big part on them. This man here really helped that team to an easy win.
Yeah, they were 4
last. He's, I think, figured out the speed a little better, and he's going to get a look at the blue too. Yeah, it seems like every match that week at the Spanish Open was
that venue was so hot. Wanted to punish us by keeping us in there as long as possible. It was a great tournament, won by Dang Jinhu. Double bill.
Yeah, I tell you, those events. And Lugo is a beautiful city. I mean, just it was easy to stay there anyways, but sometimes you get back to. That's just a beautiful shot. You talk about one.
Yeah, he had those couple of quarterfinals year before last, but didn't in one of these matchroom events in 2024 and didn't end his run there. But he's already at a quarter-final this year at the European Open. He might do here in Telford this week because he's playing really well, and with his get a foothold, can turn this around. And maybe it's going to come here. Well, maybe not.
Off the red 3. Yeah. Very good experience beyond his years, this young man. Oh no. Overcut the 2. Now he's got to do something. The 4 doesn't pass. So he's coming across for the combination.
Well, this would be a very nice one. And AJ Manus, big comeback. Was 7-2 down, but he has just taken rack 10. But needed to build on it with the 1 on the side.
Trying to kill the ball a bit for the 2. Wants to fall here underneath it. It's just going to stun. Need a friendly bump. I think he'll get it.
You always do.
Decent. Like this. Speed control's very ideal. Not getting too.
Well, this is turning into to the quarterfinals in Sarajevo back in March. Beat him in winners qualification.
Really
and then
like
after
what I've seen. Always plays steady, I mean, but I just feel like he looks really comfortable. Bells for position on the brown.
So Manus has now been eliminated following the defeat earlier today for defending champion Robbie Capito.
A huge shot there from Duong, especially all that. Make it a little easier, a little more comfortable. Have to. It's perfect here. He'll just.
So as I said, two players who've really made a name for themselves. Looking so likely now.
Yeah, really, I mean, besides the break shot, which exceptional pull by the Vietnamese star.
And that. He's been out on the main table.
Yeah, and there hasn't been continuous luck. It's been awesome play to get to this 9-3 score. And in return, this is what AJ has given up.
Controlled the match.
Yeah, we've had a few scores. Ooh, okay, got it down.
Full match has just been completed. Max Lechner winning that hill finish against Wang Hung Sang. Lechner, another player who has yet to win one of these European Opens already this year. But perhaps the way he's playing here.
Finally gave one up. Didn't expect
the last rights for this match. Manus looks as though he's going to extend it here. Duong has done very little wrong in this match. He did something wrong.
All in this match. Dry breaks. He has made a ball once. Pushing out to some type of real first shot. Hard to get enough speed on the one a lot of times. Well, unless he catches the point. Pure stroke there to draw.
Wang this week, but if he can continue to play like this, who's to say?
Just one more task really here on the 4. 2 rails for the 5. Is that enough speed? It's got to go a little bit. Yes, it is.
Game, yes, there was that lapse in the previous rack, but it was very much at odds with what we've seen from him throughout the day. But hold on, what's he done here?
This is short, so AJ still got life.
For the second rack in a row.
Yeah, it's going to hold up. So Duong's going to get a pretty easy shot at the 8 to finish this match.
Well, as I said, I think we expected a close one here, and it looked as though we were going to get it when Manus was only one behind at 3-2. These events is all about claiming one of those coveted last 16 spots, and the first of them has gone to Duong Quoc Hoang. He defeats AJ Manus.